What's up, guys? It's your boy GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, cover the latest news, markets, all of that, and all the alpha, and kick out some high frequency vibes. I hope you guys have gotten off onto the right foot and not the left one at the start of your week. Hopefully, you guys had a very restful weekend and got to touch some grass, and now we're straight back to it, right? Um, Looking like Bitcoin's a little bit flat and sideways. Our boy Crypto Landy is saying that expansion is due very soon. So, looking like we are coming in around at the time, like right now, just under 95K, not quite to 95K. It's like 94K, 995. Not much, up 1.31% on the day. As far as stacks goes, we are up about a half of a percent. So everything's pretty much sideways right now. Yeah, I got some bookmarks for you. Got some bullish news. Let's get straight into it. I'll bring up my screen and let's get straight into the news, guys. Got some bullish stuff for stacks for you. So let's see what we got here. Bring up the right size screen, and from the Hermetica camp, and you can follow them at Hermetica Phi. Hermetica Hangout is back this week. We will dive into ordinals, lending, and the future of Bitcoin DeFi. Host Dave right here, big base Dave right here, and guest Liquidium Phi. Big shout out to the Hermetica guys with the first Bitcoin-backed stablecoin USDH. Hermetica Hangout building DeFi around Bitcoin art. Very cool. I will set my reminder there and like and share that out. Very cool. And a big shout out to Kay here. Kay is one of the content creators from the Stacks and Bitcoin ecosystem. I've really been enjoying his posts over the last few weeks, and just a base creator in our ecosystem. So I'm going to read this here for you. Do you know that recent performance shows STX up 21% and STX up 19.9%, almost 20% there over the past 7 days, reflecting strong market momentum. Stacking DAO TVL has grown, with 15% of stacked STX now liquid via STSTX, unlocking significant DeFi potential. And made this awesome. Look at this little meme here. Got Spider-Man. Got Paul from Orange County Choppers or whatever, Skeletor. This is a good meme. This is a good one, Kay. You guys can follow Kay at KCAYXBT. So yeah, go follow Kay. He's a base creator within the Stacks ecosystem. Definitely like and repost his stuff. Thought I'd give him a big shout out. So if you're listening to this, Kay, keep on going, brother. Coming out of the Leather camp here, big shout out to Leather. You can follow them at LeatherBTC. Never miss an episode of the Leather Lounge. Subscribe and leave us a review to help more people find us. Leave them 5 stars for those guys. I'm a Leather ambassador, and little fun fact that the GPSC was launched with the Leather wallet and only has been created with a Leather wallet. So whether you're getting into BTC Fi, launching art, ordinals, Leather has you covered. It is the go-to Bitcoin wallet. So go get you a Leather wallet on leather.io. Very cool stuff there. Coming out of the Velar camp, Velar BTC is where you can follow them. Velar Perpdex docs are now live. The docs will help the community understand Oracle feed, mark price and entry price, funding rates and margin requirements, position management and liquidation processes, built for traders who value transparency. Start trading with confidence, and the link is below. If you're interested in reading those docs, go over to Velar and go give them a read. Figure out how things work over there. And from the Hermetica guys again, we didn't plan to make Crypto Landy say this is so cool 5 times in one space. We did expect the transparency dashboard to hit hard. Live reaction audio here. And let's give this a listen.
It's got all the charts and graphs. I love charts and graphs. Obviously, I'm a chartist myself, so this is This is really cool. And then you can switch between that and the APY, and you can see how much over a 30-day average. This is great. I love this. This is great.
That's my boy. Big shout out to Crypto Landy. You guys go follow Crypto Landy at Crypto Landy. Dude is a chartist, as he stated, and dude is based, man. Knows up from down when it comes to markets and Bitcoin movement. So go give him a follow. And this is a big one from the main Stacks handle, and you can follow that at Stacks. Stacks Asia DLT Foundation is partnering with ADGM, one of the world's fastest growing financial centers, to drive institutional Bitcoin adoption. Learn more about their push for institutional Bitcoin adoption here. And breaking, Stacks Asia Foundation becomes the first Bitcoin-based foundation recognized by the ADGM. That is the Abu Dhabi global market. So very, very cool. A major leap for Bitcoin layer 2 growth across Asia and the Middle East. Look at how giddy. Look how giddy. Yes, let's go. This is big. This is huge. So big ups to the guys coding on Bitcoin via Stacks, building the change, as our boy Crypto Dude likes to say. Very cool stuff. And this is one more on that same topic. Stacks Asia DLT Foundation is now the first Bitcoin-based organization to establish an official presence in the Middle East. By collaborating on educational initiatives with ADGM, we're making it easier for institutions to join the growing Bitcoin economy. Love this stuff. This is based, very cool stuff, guys. And coming out of the Stacking DAO camp, and you can follow them at Stacking DAO. What if users didn't have to wait an entire cycle to unstack their STX? Right now, switching between pools is slow and costly. Stacking DAO is helping drive the Phrygier proposal to remove the cooldown cycle, making flexible and efficient stacking a reality. These are great improvements. Thanks for working on this, Phrygier. Especially lock once and automatically extend by one POX cycle each time is important. This way, pool operators don't need to manually extend the lock for each stacker. Also, changing delegation to another pool without cooldown will be a big win. And from Tycho as well, big shout out to Tycho out there at Token 2049, repping for Stacking DAO and Zest, doing your thing. Big shout out to my boy Tycho. Extremely bullish on this. I'm here to do whatever I can to make sure this gets into the next hard fork for Stacks, of course. So very cool stuff. Maybe we'll discuss this a little bit on the show tonight. And of course, you guys go follow Stacking DAO to stay in the know. Don't miss the Stacks DeFi show tomorrow at 10 a.m. ET. The show will feature all the main Stacks DeFi apps and other sharing news, creating a more open, engaging format. Set your reminder so you do not miss it. And you can also go to the DeOrganized.media page and visit the show schedule and find all of these different shows that are going on with the Stacks and Bitcoin ecosystem on the show schedule, and set your reminders there. Also, coming out of the Stacking DAO camp, Stacking DAO team will be at the Stacking Summit in Dubai from April 28th through the 29th. As the largest liquid stacking pool on Stacks, the Bitcoin leading L2, it's a chance to explore how BTC can become a more productive asset. Catch up with the team at the summit. Very cool. I will like and share that as well. Coming out of the Zest Protocol camp, and you can follow them at Zest Protocol. Come hang out with the Stacks community in the Zest Town Hall AMA. It's a perfect place to discuss new developments in Stacks, hear Web3 updates, and have fun together. Tune in on Wednesday, the 30th of April at 11 a.m. EST. And of course, I've already liked and shared that. And get into the Zest community and the Stacking DAO community Discords. Got a fun activity schedule that I am working on for the month of May, including maybe some live streaming, maybe some stuff from the Bitcoin conference at the end of May. I just got approved for a press pass, so I'm very, very excited about that. Maybe we can roll into that as well. Also from the Zest Protocol camp, Zest points are now fully updated in the UI, thanks to the new script now live. This update was all about making sure points are awarded fairly to everyone. If you notice they drop in your points, check out the corrected mechanics below. And we can check out those corrected mechanics maybe a little bit later. Yeah, definitely go follow Zest Protocol, the leading lending and borrowing platform on Stacks. Yeah, cool. Moving right into the news from Cointelegraph. Bullish. Blockstream CEO Adam Back says Bitcoin treasury firms are driving hyper Bitcoinization, with BTC's market cap set to surpass 200 trillion within a decade. Very cool stuff. I will give that a like. Bullish. According to CoinGecko, governments hold over 463,000 BTC as of April 2025, with the US remaining the largest holder at 198,012 BTC, coming in at $18.3 billion worth. So they got this cool little graph here. Got Germany, Ukraine, El Salvador. El Salvador has been accumulating Bitcoin. Bhutan, United Kingdom, China, and United States holdings all represented within this graph. Very cool stuff. Insight. Paul Adkins is reshaping the U.S. crypto market as SEC chairman, shifting from enforcement to rule-based regulation. Since taking office, the SEC has launched roundtables, softened litigation, and prioritized stablecoin laws, exchange, registration, and token classification. So this guy's putting in work. Let's see it, man. I love to see more based rules and regulation coming out for the crypto industry. New Arizona has passed their Bitcoin reserve bill. Will SB 1025 will now head to the Governor Katie Hobbs' desk for final approval. I'll give that a like. Very cool stuff to see that different states, different countries, they're all spinning up their own reserves for the hardest asset in existence. Latest, El Salvador added 32. I told you El Salvador is getting down and hodling hard. El Salvador has added 32 more Bitcoin in April, bringing its national holdings to 6,161 BTC, worth over 584 million, while remaining compliant with IMF requirements. Very cool stuff there. Also coming out of Cointelegraph, Learn, SUSD, a crypto collateralized stablecoin, lost its $1 peg after liquidity dried up and users rushed to exit amid fears about its backing. The incident highlights how stablecoins relying on volatile crypto assets can quickly unravel. And of course, we saw a little bit of this. I think it was like early 2023 or late 2022 with the Terra Luna collapse. Scary. Learn was only around for a little bit, I do believe. Very scary stuff. Go make sure that you are using Bitcoin-backed stables. The only Bitcoin-backed stable in existence right now is USDH in the Stacks ecosystem. Yeah, so I'm truly bullish on USDH and Bitcoin-backed stables. We'll give that a like. Bullish. Bitcoin's rise in short-term trader balances signaled renewed speculative demand, potentially marking the start of a broader uptrend rather than just a relief rally. Very cool to see that people are, investor confidence is rising, and we have this type of news. Good news. People are finally coming online and waking up and seeing that Bitcoin is the hardest asset in existence. Latest, on April 30th, asset manager ProShares will launch 3 XRP futures at ETFs. A separate application for a spot XRP ETF from ProShares is still awaiting approval. Moving on, bullish. Standard Chartered Jeffrey Kendricks predicts Bitcoin will hit 120K in Q2, urging investors to buy now as strategic shifts away from U.S. assets accelerates. Very, very cool stuff there. Insight: Bitcoin surged to 95.5K on Monday as retail traders showed renewed confidence with their higher BTC price predictions dominating social media. However, rising greed and focus on speculative assets like meme coins could signal caution ahead. I'm bullish on meme coins. I'm one of those guys out there that is screaming meme coin super cycle, and I like SIP10 assets. So Bitcoin-backed secured meme coins is the way to go for me. Uh, Not financial advice, and of course, do your own research, but get you some SIP 10s. Get yourself in the game. SIP 10s are the beta play on Stacks, and Stacks is the beta play on Bitcoin. New Senator Josh Hawley has officially introduced Preventing Elected Leaders from Owning Securities and Investments, the Pelosi Act. The Pelosi Act requires members of Congress and their spouses to divest any holdings or put them in a blind trust. They are very, very creative when coming up the names of these different acts to make sure that they throw a dig. And this one's at Nancy Pelosi. Go ahead, Josh Howley. Go ahead with your bad stuff. I'll get that like. Just in Abu Dhabi's ADQ, IHC, and First Abu Dhabi Bank to launch a dirham-backed stablecoin, fully regulated by the UAE Central Bank to accelerate the nation's digital asset strategy. I prefer my stables backed by Bitcoin. Big shout out to Hermeticify. Yeah, get you some USDH too. I think I got a couple more. This is one. This is a good one here. Brazilian bank I2 invest 210 million in BTC, launching Orange. I probably butchered that. Forgive me. To accumulate Bitcoin as a strategic reserve and reshape corporate treasury strategies. And here we go. New Tether purchases 7.7 tons of gold to strengthen backing for its XAUT token. And then Senator Warren and Schiff call for ethics probe into President Trump token dinner, citing pay-to-play corruption concerns. If people want to pay $420,000 for a McDonald's meal, let them. Go do more important stuff. Trump-backed World Liberty Financial partners with Pakistan Crypto Council to boost DeFi, stablecoin, and blockchain innovation in the country. Cool to see that Pakistan is getting involved in crypto. And I got a couple other ones here, but I got the guys waiting, so I'm going to bring them on, and let's get straight into the news. Yeah, let me bring this down, stop sharing my screen real quick, and let's bring the guys on. But yeah, lots of bullish news. I hope that everybody is feeling a little bullish with this correction and new legislation. So in the house tonight, we got Rafa. Rafa, welcome. We've got our beloved Peace Love Music. We got the legend of all Stacks legends, Jack Ben Switch. What's up, fellas? How are we doing tonight? How are we feeling?
GM, how y'all doing?
Good evening.
My God, this is full house today. All the legends in the house.
Let's go.
The
Shout out, got
leveragers.
Landy and Crypto Dude. Landy and Crypto Dude in the chat.
Gangsters.
John D in the
GQ.
chat too. Got all the chats. Oh, here's Landy.
This is good old Monday energy. This is the way to get your week started right here, fellas. Landy, you made it to the DeOrganized Nightly segment. I'm so excited.
What's up, guys? What's up? I'm here. I was waiting. I was in the audience. I was like, "Yo, I gotta crash stream right now. I gotta crash stream." That Pelosi Act from 2023, Cointelegraph running out of news to keep writing and recycling. Man, I was like, I gotta get in there.
Yeah, dude. Like it's been a minute. I liked it. I like that they recycled it because it gave me a good laugh how creative they get, trying to come up with these different names for their bills, and then they end up being a dig, and it ends up being the Pelosi Act, right? Like, so I thought it was good, worth rehashing. So
it's funny because I think he reintroduced it to committee because Trump is pushing for that to happen in Congress to eliminate them trading. So of course they're really mad. So now they got to go after him about the Trump dinner stuff, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. And she out traded the inverse Kramer, dude. So I mean, come on.
She out traded Bill Ackman. And he's the best. He's the secret weapon. Like nobody even knows that the Bill Ackman bottom and Bill Ackman top. Nobody even knows. I mean, Bill Ackman's likely a bottom, but that doesn't really matter. The point is that he calls bottoms all the time. Like when he gets the loudest, the low is in. So yeah, I
You know
mean,
what though? Nancy might be a really, really expert stock trader, but she's terrible at murdering her husband and making it look like an accident.
yeah, I agree.
She's not good at that at all.
He's like, "Oh, you're gonna murder me? Well, I'm gonna rape you. We're gonna have a good time."
I'm in Steve tonight. Let's go. Go like this, Steve. Let's go.
Let's
my
talk about it. How about that?
Y'all see that? I got approved for a press pass for the Bitcoin conference. Shout out the legend, Peace Love Music. Let's fucking go.
Did you get an email too?
Congrats.
Did you get an email too? Nice.
I did.
We are both in.
Dude, I was bragging
Yeah,
about it. I was
press
calling mom. I was like, "Yo, mom, check this out."
Mom's
I
like,
just
"What?
started,
That's
and then
nice."
I was like, "Oh my god, it's 7:30. I gotta go check in the show." But yeah, that's pretty exciting news.
Hell yeah.
I filled out the application yesterday.
That's quick. That's quick. They must need some coverage. I'm gonna have that big old press. You know, I have my boom and my.
One of their
my
questions was, "Who would you like to if you could interview anyone at Bitcoin Vegas? Who would you like to interview?" And I just put anyone with a Bitcoin or crypto story to tell. And I think that's was like, "You're in."
It's a damn good answer, dude.
Wait,
yeah.
so
now we don't even have to worry about just walking along. We can still do that if we want to. Just walk up and down the street and like ambush people. But we can actually just ambush people in the conference itself now.
Hell yeah.
Ambush for interviews, not for Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, I'm not a violent person.
So is DeOrganized the media now?
It is. We are
officially part of the crypto media now. Like it's official.
Oh,
we're
shit.
hashtag the press.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We done upset the apple cart. Real organic crypto media.
Wait, you guys are the press? I can't. I don't talk to the press. Sorry,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Oh no.
Hold on, we're the D press.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna all develop a serious sense of self-loathing now, aren't we?
Yes. Yeah.
We're gonna go hard emo.
You're gonna just anti anything that Trump proposes from here on out. It's gonna be just 24/7 hit pieces on crypto. You're gonna align yourself with Pocahontas. Gonna be like, look, we need to do more investigations. Like we got to get rid of all this crypto stuff. More trading. We need to up our salaries in Congress. You're gonna be, yep.
I'm seeing like the sentiment on the timeline regarding politicians and things that typically would have been considered sensitive to discuss or people not even paying attention to that much. Dude, people have just had it, especially with politicians. Like it's ramped up even more so than it had been leading up to the election. Like people just had enough, so hopefully there'll be more DeOrganized Media, not just the official DeOrganized Media, but like
we want more. Do you guys remember when news channels didn't always have a national affiliate? There was local broadcast stations that weren't actually a network affiliate. There was actually like people just owned TV stations and radio stations too.
Yes, and in other news piece, I can no longer count how many gray hairs I have in my beard. Right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Flashbacks to when there was no.
You're saying the trend is towards more gray.
Yeah, the trend is, yes, it is definitely not. Look, when I passed by the Just for Men section in the aisle the other day, I actually did a double take, and I was like, "Oh no, embrace it."
Yeah, no, I've taken the tact of just embracing it.
Look at GP over there smiling away with no gray.
Yeah,
look at this.
I'm 33.
until
Millions
some of those
try.
beard hairs start turning that shade of red, and he's not going to know what
Exactly.
that's about.
No,
That's
dude,
the
I have
hard
no
one.
clue.
I do
That's
though,
the
man. It's in the mustache. You guys can't see it. It's starting to happen in the mustache right now, dude.
Is it red? It's turning
it's getting
red. 'Cause that's
red.
all of this gray first went red. That's
Oh,
absolutely
shit.
what happened. With mine.
Yep.
That's how it goes. Yeah, no
I
one
did not
tells.
know.
I don't know why like dudes don't tell other dudes these things. So that's why we're giving all you guys a public service announcement right now. When your facial
Okay.
hair starts turning reddish, congratulations, you're about to get gray hair.
It's the early
Shit.
alpha.
It's great, right? And if you're
Damn.
lucky, it'll hit your face first.
Yeah. Well,
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
You guys just hit me with a hard one,
The
bro.
good
Like,
news, though, the good news is, chicks don't care.
No,
yeah, salt and pepper ain't
Like
bad,
guys
man.
have it so good. Girls don't
flavor.
care. Women do not care what we look like, for the general most part. Which fortunate for me.
yeah,
They just
they,
want that
like
I just
if-
got
if-
I got a DM. Somebody said, I don't even think Landy has a beard. And they DM'd it to me. They didn't put it in the comments. They didn't put it under anything. They DM'd it to me. So how about this? You hear that?
Yeah.
That's a beard. That's a man beard right there.
Landy,
That is a
that
beard.
sounds- yeah,
we
that sounds like a
recognize
man. That sounds like a well-ridden beard, actually.
That is yeah, well, you can ask my wife about that one. But listen, it is
Them ZZ
ladies
tops,
and
man.
gentlemen, we're not going to talk about mustache rides, but look, it's funny because this is a 1.5 foot long beard that has been in the making for a long time. After retirement, when I didn't have to shave anymore, it was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to grow this thing as long as I can possibly get. And then that's when I found out that I have really curly beard hairs. And it just gets all knotted up.
Yep.
And I thought it was going to be
Was it not
straight
in
like the
straight
hair on my
direction?
head. No. It turns out that once it hits a certain length, it's just you decide to become like, oh, hey, you've got facial pubes now. You're
Right.
welcome.
Yeah, that's how mine grows out. The longer it gets. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
Not
you
a
know,
bushy, man.
I don't ever
Mine-
get much longer than this.
Yeah, dude. Like if mine gets all frizzy and then like I had to
you
clean
just
it
push
up. I
through.
had to-
Push through. Listen, GP,
that
I'm
what-
going to give you some advice. All you do is you push through, and then you go to an actual barber and have them trim it up for you. And
It's like
all of a
holding
sudden,
Bitcoin.
yes, you just got to keep holding. Just don't give up. You gotta ride it out through the tough periods. You can get your wife involved, your girl involved, whatever, right? Just get through the tough period and you'll be
Right,
good.
get your girl involved.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known this before, like over the weekend, because I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, damn, dude, that needs to get cleared up. And so I'm learning, like, dude, I got my guys with me. This is a good way to start the week, right? Like, I'm learning that I'm about to go gray in my beard, but that's okay. And then, like, if it gets a little scruffy, that's all right. Just go to the barber. He'll take care of it. Like, good to go. This is
The
good. life.
puking frog jumped in with the degeneracy right away. So my apologies for throwing you right off track.
Dude, perfectly okay.
All right, guys. You guys in the mood for like a very quick demo?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Rafa wants to show us something.
Oh yeah.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
I don't know if I interrupted, by the way, because I wasn't
No.
really listening.
No, this is DeOrganized. That's how we do it. Nobody gets to talk. That's why we
There was
talk.
something about beards. I'm also growing some of my beard myself. Yeah, but
Shit.
I think like I saw Mark in an interview, and I told him, you need to groom yourself a little bit more if you want to have the good image, because
Got
you
you,
speak
got
really well. But if you're not
Yeah.
groomed, just leave the PFP like Landy and I.
Facts, dude. You don't gotta dox yourself. He's already doxed. He's got his PFP. That dude got a good beard. He got good hair too. He got long hair and a good beard. So big shout out to the guy, Mark, from Beat Pepe. Go get you some Beat Pepe. But yeah, Rafa, pulling up the
All right,
screen.
guys. So
Get it
yeah,
off.
I think you guys are already familiar with this. It's just another iteration of depositing Bitcoin in one transaction. But this time we're going to do it, and we're going to deposit directly into the
Bitcoin
subnet.
to SBTC, right? Bitcoin to SBTC
Correct. Yes. Yes.
in one Bitcoin block.
In one confirmation, right? So obviously you have the fee
One
priority.
confirmation.
Yeah. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, you're good to go, brother.
All right, so last time I did it with Bitcoin to SBTC. This time we're going to deposit into the SBTC subnet from Blaze, the ultra fast, high throughput off-chain technology that Ross is building. And it's actually the same interface. The only thing you need to do is to just check this. This was done really quickly, so feel free to, if you want to use this technology, you can build your own UI. This entire app is actually, the code is open source, so you can do it. So if you don't click, you're going to deposit into SBTC, to your own wallet. If you do click, it's going to deposit into the Blaze smart contract, and it's going to credit you, an amount there under your name inside the contract, where you can then, do all these options.
Withdraw it. Right, you can still withdraw it out of Blaze.
Yep.
To your wallet.
One other cool thing here is the fees are dealt in the front end. Yeah. By the way, this is live directly over here. I just did it while you were presenting. The fees are calculated in the front end. I called in the front end for the API not to hit any rate limit with mempool. These are details. And what else do they have? It functions the same way. This time the fee is paid in Bitcoin, so you actually receive the entire amount that you input here, and you pay the fee up front in Bitcoin. And just like last time, you can copy paste the op return if you wanted to. So you see that there's a transaction fee priority that I chose, and then the small fee currently is 3,000 sats up to 200,000 sats, and then that's pretty much it. There's the special audio effects. I don't know if you heard the little coin falling over here. And now it's just a question of just waiting for the block to anchor. And once it anchors, it's going to, instead of depositing SBTC, it's going to send the SBTC to the Blaze smart contract under your name, of course. That was my demo today, guys.
Right on, dude. That's solid. Very quick, very, very clean. And I like that you're like thinking of things like, the sounds, the audible, things going on with the UI. Very nice touch there, sir. I didn't get to hear it, but once I play with it, I know that I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I like user experience. I like actually the mempool is also featuring a little sound when the block anchors, so you'll hear that. And then there's another sound when the system essentially is going to pick up that transaction and transfer the SBTC to the Blaze contract. Actually, cool. I can showcase this over here because I believe I did it already. Let's see. Oh, is it this one? No, it's not. That's a normal deposit, and probably this one. Oh, let's see. No, that's an old deposit. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to show for the geeks that it's actually sending the SBTC to the smart contract, which is pretty cool. As you can see here, it's sending the SBTC to the user's wallet directly. And I'm looking for one where I think it was this one or something. That's an old one, huh? Let's see. Well, all this you don't need to do, of course, but probably this one. The one before. There you go. I zoom a little bit. You see that instead of sending the 10,000 sats of SBTC to the user, it's sending it to the subnet smart contract.
Sick, dude.
Voila. That was it, guys.
That's cool, my guy. Yeah, dude. So one block. How long is one block confirmation, Rafa?
Yeah. So let's see. I'm a little lost here, but it can vary from like 5 minutes to very rarely it's north of 40 minutes. This block has just anchored now. So you can see in like real time right now,
Quick.
the system here is going to pick up. So this was done. This transaction was sent like 3 minutes ago, and probably was sent at the end of the Bitcoin block itself. But we can see how many minutes this one. Let's see, 10 minutes. This probably, not entirely sure like what this means. Like 20 minutes, 1 minute ago, it anchored 1 minute ago, but like it lapsed between these two. So probably 20 minutes. I'm still adapting to this. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with the mempool and how it works. Does this mean that it took 1 minute to? No, it's 1 minute ago, but it confirmed that after 2 minutes. There you go. I think if I go to this one, let's see. Oh. 21 minutes ago, right? So between these two, like there's 21 minutes.
I love how we like.
And there you go.
Yeah,
yeah, there you go. 4 minutes. Like this is live in 4 minutes. That's pretty cool to see, actually. So here I have access to the Bitcoin transaction. But if I go here, I have access to the Stacks Bitcoin processing transaction. So you see, it just processed my Blaze. Okay, so yeah. So here I have to. Anyways, I'm gonna skip that. But normally here it should have sent it to the Blaze contract. But I pushed really quickly the updates on this UI on fact.fun. So I'm gonna have to review that, why it didn't send to the Bitcoin to the Blaze contract. These are the. So I didn't test this on fact.fun right away. So it's a little bug I have to write.
Live, dude, doing some testing live, building in the open. This is what it's about, man. This is good stuff. Thanks for giving us a demo tonight and coming through. Always.
It is not lost though. It's sent to the user itself. So here there's just like a little glitch in the matrix that I have to iron out. But the
so it just went into your Stacks wallet. It just ended up in your Stacks wallet. Is that what happened?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of sending it to the subnet, it sent it to my Stacks wallet. So we can confirm this if we go to my wallet.
Right. And that's honestly, that's really just a convenience feature anyway, because you can still just go connect to Blaze and bring to Blaze.
It works. It's just that.
I mean, but it's cool that you can do it right in one transaction. That makes it a lot smoother, obviously, right?
Well,
but that's where you're.
While Giga was presenting the news, I actually updated this in the FactFun front end because I wanted to showcase this, but I didn't test it in FactFun. But anyways, so I did it really quickly. But as you can see, I'm sending the Bitcoin and then I'm receiving the Bitcoin on layer 2 right here in my own wallet. But it's a convenience. It's convenient, and also you could imagine, like, instead of depositing it to Blaze, you could do anything, right? So deposit to a DeFi app like Zest or anything, right? You could do a swap. You can build a wrapper around this and then do a swap, or anything else, right? Buy an NFT or so directly with one Bitcoin transaction, you can imagine, making it a Bitcoin-centric UX. And of course, when the SBTC bridge is going to be live, I'm also guessing that this will be the case to be able to do it via the SBTC bridge. Now, will it be in one confirmation? That's still something to confirm. But this system does.
So eventually, this will actually be minting, not working from a pool. Is what you're saying? Like, it'll be minting through the main peg in, peg out.
Yeah, exactly. So if I go to my wallet, this is a good way to visualize this, Peace Love. So you see, I'm sending Bitcoin and then I'm receiving the Bitcoin on the Stacks layer. But instead of receiving Bitcoin on the Stacks layer, perhaps I have an example here. But anyways, instead of receiving the Bitcoin, it could buy an NFT. So it could do anything, any operation you're doing on Stacks. So it could deposit into Zest. It could swap like a meme coin, a Pepe coin, for example, a Rue coin, which is a pretty cool coin. I like. Shout out to you, Jack.
Thanks.
Yeah, so you can, meaning that you can wrap things in, because this is a smart contract. So what you can do, you can stack the transaction one after the other, meaning that okay, it takes that 10,000 satoshis of SBTC and then it does something with another contract, like a Lego block, right? It could deposit into Arcadico and borrow against it, etc., etc.
And then when you add AI into the mix, then
Yes.
it gets really screwy. Yeah, then you can just do all kind of stuff.
It's just doing it automatically. Yes.
And with AI, what you can do is it can deposit your Bitcoin directly into your agent account at AI BTC, for example. And that's something that we've talked with the AI guys. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. It's a pretty cool implementation. Like you just send a Bitcoin transaction and it does something in a one Bitcoin transaction, one confirmation, right? Because Stacks is going to fork with Bitcoin. So we're confident that, this is an atomic operation, because if Bitcoin forks, Stacks fork, and then both ends are invalidated.
No bridging involved.
Yeah, this is using this is a sort of a bridge, right? It's an atomic bridge. But you can completely abstract this. Like you don't need this. You can you can wrap this operation again into buying an NFT, depositing into Zest, depositing into Blaze. I was demoing this. Actually, I can do it again from the code. 100% sure that it will work. Did someone just? Yeah, this code I've tested and actually works. Anyways. That was the demo today. I have more stuff coming in, but yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing all the opportunities that this brings, right? Like having things secured more quickly, and through the Blaze subnet as well. Like it's really cool. You just built out like a use case for the subnet. So
yes, exactly. So the cool thing is you go from low, very secure Bitcoin to something that eventually anchors into Bitcoin via Stacks, but is off-chain, which is Blaze, which is like instant, high throughput, messaging system off-chain. So, and you do it in one confirmation. That's pretty insane. Going from like Bitcoin experience to Blaze, and that's why I wanted to demo this. I can do it again, but I don't want to waste you guys' time. I'm just going to island it.
Yeah, that's awesome, Rafa. Like keep building the change. I love it, man. I'm really stoked. And thank you for doing your demo, man. I love whenever we get a Rafa demo because it's always an exciting night for me, and I always like starting the week off with some good alpha. So good stuff, dude. Yeah, man. I want to use it. I want to play with it. That's one of the things. I'm a tinkerer. I like to tinker with new things and test new stuff out. So look forward to maybe doing some tinkering for you, man. Let me know.
Yeah, it's great to be here with you guys, like pioneers and also people with conviction, who no matter what, we're here for a higher purpose sort of thing. So
yeah,
the family is growing. Go ahead, sorry.
I said keep killing it, man. You're so instrumental to the development and ecosystem. It's awesome to see.
Big facts.
I appreciate that coming from you, Jack.
Yeah, awesome stuff, Rafa, man. It's kind of like you and Rosar together doing putting that stuff together is really, really like intriguing, because both of you are building stuff that's going to make the other apps more functional. It's not just you're building within an app idea. So it's so cool. So cool.
They're building infra for everybody.
Right.
That's what's so cool about it, because Stacks is so much more than a DeFi layer. You know, because you can, at the end of the day, you're going to want to do everything settling on Bitcoin, anything of note, right? And we'll be able to do it all right here on Stacks. And guys like Rosar and Rafa, you know, take their time and effort and just consistently work on building out more and more infrastructure that they iterate on, and that can further be iterated on by people as they come into this ecosystem to build the next killer apps. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you're doing all of this from X. That's yeah, I can see it. I like the way that the builders in this ecosystem, like what they're building, the use cases kind of like build off of each other, and yeah, it's dope. We've come a long way in the last year and a half, 2 years, and it's because of the type of building that Rafa, Crypto Dude, Rosar, they're all building in the open and building for us. So I agree with that, Jack.
Yeah, it's the principle of like Lego blocks, right? When you can use, you know, Hermetica inside of Velar's Perptex, and not only you're trading and you're getting yield, but you know, Zest is able to liquidate their pools through Hermetica, you know, access to billions of dollars on centralized exchanges. And you know, like, if something works, then you can reuse it for something else. If this thing worked, then yeah, you can reuse it anywhere you want, and then essentially it becomes a community's effort. It's that compounds over the. My cat is coming to say hi. Hey, Bushman.
What up?
But yes, it's a pleasure. I'm just sorry that in this case there was a little glitch, but it does work.
That's how it happens. That's how it always happens that way with us, you know, because of the nature of what we're doing here. You know, it's not polished, it's not clean, but it's real, and it's purposeful, and it's moving in the right direction. You know, and so this is all great stuff, man.
Yeah, it's real time. Like building in the open. I can't put enough emphasis on that. Is building in the open, you know, and that's what it's all about. You're kind of showing us the process, what your thought process behind it is. Yeah, it's really good stuff, man. Like forget about Asari. Keep going and chipping away, bro. I love to see this thing get polished. Yeah, this is what it's about, dude. So good shit. And I know that I know Landy wanted to.
It's honestly very exciting. Like, did you see how fast this is? Like, we did it live. Yeah. Like, even though it didn't go to Blaze, it's DeOrg. DeOrg is not, you know, DeOrg is not deorganized that, like, in the literal sense. It's actually it delegates a lot to the community, right? You delegate your power, and intuitively you become more powerful. Like, you show up all these days, like you guys are the blood. You guys are, you know, without your, like, and we see that, you know, the more established companies are now, you know, giving you that recognition that you well deserve. And I'm happy that you guys are going to go to Vegas and so on, and the family is growing, and you know, we've got people with value who see value and who show up every day.
Well said. Well said, and I appreciate that, man. It's you know, it's why we're here. You know, the same reason you're here and building the way you're building, and you know, it's really a beautiful thing. I know Landy's waiting to give us some alpha.
Oh,
very patiently. I've never heard Landy be this quiet for so long.
I was watching. I was liking the Blaze application. So
really,
I
I
wanted to see it.
It's really,
yeah.
That the things that can be. There's so many possibilities there.
Yes, there's a lot of different ways. I was already envisioning different ways to use something like that. So, look, great job. Keep building, and this stuff. Just wait. There's going to be a lot of heat on this network, and if you've looked around at all at some of the other Bitcoin focused layers, you understand why Stacks is so important. So I'll just leave it at that. But I do have a little bit of alpha for you. This is more of a teaser about kind of what's going on with Bitcoin directly, as it does influence all of our beloved altcoins and meme coins and stuff like that. I'm just going to walk you through real quick.
Oh, I love it.
This is the weekly on Bitcoin. You might notice a few things here. I've highlighted some stuff, but this is a fairly easy to understand chart. This is the weekly where we had a nice higher high, nice higher low coming off of a little bit of a trend break. We had some higher highs, some higher lows, and even another higher high swing with a lower high close here before heading down to lower low, lower high, lower low. And guess what? We now have a higher high. And in fact, this previous weekly candle was a very important one, because you can see here, you can see here that it could be, we don't know yet. We have to, this is just a trend break so far, because we had this last higher low where we rejected and created a lower high. Well, we needed to close above this lower high and reclaim this higher low to, of course, set a low down here, which is a lower low, granted, but then break the downtrend and get a weekly recovery. Well, not only did Bitcoin get a nice weekly recovery of the swing there at 89, it actually got a weekly recovery of the close open at 93.5. And you can see that's where Bitcoin is kind of trying to base out to start this week. And that's pretty important as we go to a lower term time frame, because I'm not going to really talk too much. I'm going to save some for the video that I got here just a little bit. But the Bitcoin is consolidating, and it's consolidating for its next move. And how do we know this? If you watch the Learn TA with Landy series, of course, hosted by none other than Peace Love Music on Tuesdays, and special guest host this past Tuesday, GPSC. It was really great to see you, buddy. Look, this was an important move up. And I kind of want to point something out here. This is a 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. And of course, we have those weekly levels. So we have the close open here at 93.5. That was that higher low that Bitcoin reclaimed. We have $89,000, which was the higher low swing, or wick, if you will, that was reclaimed. That was also the lower high that needed to be broken to break the downtrend on the weekly. And then, of course, we have the last lower high close here at $86,000. This is the most imminent zone below price right now that needs to be heeded, right, on any retraces. But what we can see is we had a nice compression. All you need to do is look at these bands, see how they're expanded, they're really wide, and then they're really narrow here. So that's expansion, and then we have price compression. We had price compression, we had a nice move up into the zone, nice move up into the zone, knock its head up before finally pushing through and now consolidating on top of the zone. But what you see is compression to expansion up. Now, compression does not imply direction, right? So this could have turned out a different way. This could have went down and expanded down. Point is that we had price volatility compression, and then we had expansion, and now we are back in compression, and we're right on the top side of that 93.5 weekly. This is very important because this is telling us that there is a move imminent. When? We can start to get an idea of that probably in a few days, but it could kick off at any moment. I like to use the 4-hour as the beginning stages of looking for expansion. And how do we get expansion? For my band set, it's either above the upper second and third or below the lower second and third. And I give criteria. Got to get above that high at $96,000 now. That would be above the upper second and third. On closes would still need to beat the high. And then we're looking for some price volatility expansion up. That doesn't imply that it's going to keep going that way, but that would be confirmation of expansion. Could get a little bit crazy, as we've seen in the past, where price volatility expansion, for instance, all the way back here before price broke down, by the way, we went into this sideways compression that was pretty hellish. But, you know, it was a range. We had volatility expansion to the downside. Couldn't get past that big low over there, though. Spiked up to the other side, couldn't get past the swings up here, and in fact didn't even pass the little bit of a narrow range here. But we had then we had the actual big expansion down into the support area. Once it started to expand below this low, it hit a weekly level and then rejected it and continued its expansion down. Point being is when you see a compression of price like this, that we're going to start seeing the move get rocking and rolling soon. And we can even go through and we can look at the 6 hour here. We can see that the 6 hour has gone from compression over here, expansion, back into compression. We can see that the 8 hour is starting as well. We have the compression over here, the big expansion, back into compression. So point being is there is a move cooking for Bitcoin. And, the next little while here, probably sometime this week, we're going to start to see its direction being indicated, whether that's going to be to test further up or whether that's going to be test further down into supports. I'll give you this alpha. You want to see somewhere between this 93.5 and 89 hold up. Can you give it down to 86? Sure, but that's pushing it. That's a little bit of a deep retrace to get continuation on this move. We have the daily here. If we start pushing down to 86, you'll see that would be in the bearish half of my bands here, be breaking below and endangering this consolidation, right? Not that it can't find support around the high side there, but realistically, we want to see around 89 to 92 hold up on any test down, even better above 93.5. But sometimes we don't always get what we want. But we're going to have some pretty important stuff to be talking about on the weekly in the coming weeks. So on the weekly, this is the real alpha right here.
Let's go.
Trend break, right? So we've broken this downtrend. What do you need to see from here if you're bullish? There's 3 scenarios. So we've got our swing downtrend here. We can just get rid of everything on the chart here. We don't need any of this stuff, just price action and some squiggly lines to help us. Squiggly lines. Doesn't matter about the zones because this is all hypothetical. But we have a downtrend break. So wherever this puts in a high, doesn't matter if it's here, doesn't matter if it's here, doesn't matter if it's way up here. Does not matter wherever the high comes in. We'll say for S's and G's that it's right here. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. We're just going to use that as an example. What we need to see is a higher low. That's one scenario. And then we need to see it break above the high, right? The most recent high. The other scenario is that we come down for equal lows, right? That would be a bullish scenario as well, somewhere around equal lows, and then break the most recent higher high. The bearish scenario is that this turns into a deviation and then breaks below the actual lows here, right? So you've got two of the more favorable scenarios and then one bearish scenario here. That's what we look for from here. If we put in higher low structure on the weekly, now again, you have to give it time to play out. That means that the next daily high that comes in when the timeline is screaming and crying and bitching and complaining and it's so over and we're not so back and all the bulls are wrong and all the bears are right, just like all the bears are wrong and all the bulls are right this time. Just understand that there needs to be structure to be built. Even if it's bullish, we need price to come back down, no matter how high price goes, in order to be a healthy, constructive bit of price action here. So that is the real alpha. There's 3 scenarios that could play out from here. Doesn't matter how high this goes, we will see or need to see, if you're bullish, you want to see higher lows, such as the first little scenario here, which would be this guy, higher low, and then take out that high. That's continuation. The second scenario is equal lows, and then take out that high. That's continuation of the bullish trend and a reversal confirmation setup. Or this turns bearish where this is a higher high and it's a deviation of this downtrend, takes out the low and then continues down. That is the alpha. That is all you really need to understand about this. You're going to see a lot of postulating, both bullish and bearish from here. Understand that no one knows, not a single person. They'll tell you they do, but they don't. We got to watch it play out together as a family.
Oh, one big happy family just looking for if then scenarios and playing the charts like they should be played. So very nice of you, sir. Thank you for breaking that down and
No
bringing
worries,
us to alpha. It's lovely. I love Alpha Mondays, man. Feels
Hey,
good,
I'll
man.
tell you, the juicy setup is that 4 and 6 hour I'm watching very, very closely, because when that starts rocking and rolling with expansion, because we're in a compression, that always leads to expansion. You have periods of compression, you then get periods of price expansion. And that is going to determine whether or not we put in a high and go by price expanding down, puts in a daily high, right? Or it expands up to create a nice higher high, and we're looking at nice higher prices, which, by the way, gives Bitcoin more room on a retrace to make a bullish structure. So it's just a matter of seeing how things play out from here. This is the fun part, by the way, guys. This is where I thrive, because I'm a volatility trader. So when I see compression like this, I'm like, ooh, nice. I can't wait till this starts to kick off. I got all my notifications and lines that you don't see set because there's a million of them. Like, it's going to notify me here, 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 and here to the upside, and here, 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 and here to the downside. And then I'll wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. and I will take a longer or short based on what I see.
Do you have like a red alert in your battle station that just starts blinking red through the house?
I
It's
wish.
Like,
I wish. You know, this is where AI would be really helpful, because I could just set all of my conditions into AI, and because you can go to platforms and you can say, I can limit this and trailing stop that and do this or that. Now, AI, if you can train it to have some portion of your trading strategy, you could actually have it implemented. That's the future that I wish to have, so that I could actually sleep at night. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, eventually we're just gonna have like a house bot, like an AI bot, just like strolling around like R2D2 that just comes up to your bed and like nudges your bed and it's like, time to trade, Landy. Time,
Here's the thing. I wanted to come nudge me and say, hey, Landy, I'm waking you up to let you know that I've performed all of your trades and you are up 4,566%. Thank you.
$1 million.
Yes. I want to be able to buy sharks with lasers on their heads, and then we're good to go.
Fuck yes. Sharks with lasers, and then we know that we've all made it when Landy has those in his basement, and then he has like a little mini me, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
I have any more mini. If there's a mini of me, which is already mini, Dave from ATC is gonna have a freaking ball making fun of me. So,
oh, that's so good.
Mini.
I love
the
it.
mini me.
Even
the
text on the new daily candle, it ripped just now. I'm sitting here trying to put in bids around 76 cents because I'm looking at those upper wicks and I'm like, oh man, this is.
I want to be able to trade stacks with leverage on the Velar perp decks. That's what I want, because like over the weekend I was just sticking around and had my moving averages on my chart, and I was like, that looks good. That looks like that's a flag. I know you're not a pattern trader, but like, I was like, that looks like it's gonna pop, and it did. So I think that would be pretty cool. And that candle. I mean, that daily, like, yeah, that's a nice little candle there. On the stacks chart there, I want to see it get above like. Let's see if we can break above like 89 cents and just keep going, because like I'm a permeable on what we're doing here, and it's not hard to be whenever you're with the builders, seeing what's going on. getting a
So
first at everything.
on my stacks chart, it's been respecting my Fibonacci lines hardcore. So
Yep.
like I'm
So-
looking at from here to roughly 95 cents, you know, is like our local range here. If we break above 95, I'd be impressed. But it's
That's
been
good.
respecting the hell out of the levels I set.
Yeah, if it breaks above 95, a dollar is in the cards pretty easily. That's actually not too much to ask for a price on stacks anyway. So I mean, it's that one 168 for me that it had to break above, and it's got to stay there. I mean, stacks perfectly tested a 1.168 extension from its first top to its bottom on the weekly, from its all-time high to that big rundown where I put in that low at $1.06 or whatever, or $1.03 or something like that. I don't even know. It's $1.05, almost $1.06. It respected a 1.618 like on the dot. And that is picture perfect price action right there. I can't ask for better. So I was a very
We also have the monthly close in a couple of days.
2 days.
Yeah. I'm it's got to build itself out just like every other alt. I mean, everybody got on Stacks' case for going down the way it did, and then they forgot to look at their own altcoin charts from those other networks because they went down just as bad. And Stacks was moving early with Bitcoin, and it dumped out earlier, but that's because it ran that much harder on the way up. And the same happened to other networks like Caspa and a few others that dumped out much in the way that Stacks did, that were early movers with Bitcoin and ran with Bitcoin and much harder than Bitcoin, quite frankly. So, I mean, Stacks is going to be fine. It's going to take a while for alts to dig out, just in general, by the way, to create that bullish structure. And I think that I've said this before on a few different Spaces events. One of the things that I think people need to understand is there is very sophisticated investors in Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin dominance is not likely going to roll over because of profit taking the way that it used to. That meaning that a lot of the profit taking rolling into alts, we're probably going to see more hodling of Bitcoin, and we need new, fresh money coming in to actually kick off alt season and get Bitcoin dominance to actually keel over. We will still get profit taking, but not in the way that I think we've seen in cycles past.
That's what makes me excited about Stacks right now more than any other L2. Is it looks like Stacks is really like got its boxing trunks on, it's got its hype music playing, it's working up a sweat and getting ready to make that walk out into the ring and go whoop ass. Like that's just like the sentiment in the not just the ecosystem, but increasingly surrounding Stacks. It's really cool to see. It brings me back to like my early days in Stacks, being like, "Holy shit, this is gonna run,"
Let's go, bringing back the bull himself. Let's get in there like swimwear. I thought it was pretty interesting to see that the Stacks Asia DLT Foundation is partnering with the Abu Dhabi Global Market. Those guys over there, man, they've got 18 billionaires in Abu Dhabi. They got big money over there. So it's got me feeling a little bit bullish. Seeing that news today. So it's interesting to say the least. Got BitGo, the most known for being the sole custodian of WBTC, adopting SBTC. We got Bitfinex, OG exchange for Bitcoiners, adopting Stacks, and listing it. Plenty of big institutional companies adopting Stacks and SBTC right now.
Guys, can I interrupt like really quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and by the way, I agree with you. Like all this institutional like interest is pretty cool. Just wanted to demo again. Like, I don't want to leave everyone on the bad taste of issue. And actually, the block just passed, so that's why I wanted to interrupt you. Oh shit!
Yeah.
No, it anchored, but it doesn't matter. I can still show the like start over. I'll give you a little math problem, by the way, if you're not against it. And yeah, I'll demo it this time and show you that it actually works.
Damn skippy. Let's get it. I'll bring your screen up and
awesome.
Just make sure we got it. Cool, man. We're good.
Yeah. So this thing just anchored, and right here 2 minutes ago, and then the transaction that I was checking just got confirmed, literally 2 minutes later. But let's start over with a little math problem. So that I was sort of failing earlier. How long this block? How long did this block last, according to you guys? Like block 894392.
Is that the one that we were playing on the first time? It was like less than 4 minutes. It was very fast.
Right. So it's showing the time ago that it anchored. So you simply 21 minutes minus 3. And that's 18 minutes for this block. And then for this block, it's 9 minus 21, that's 8 minutes, right? So you can see it varies, etc. So this block is 12 minutes, and then this block is going to be, 20 minutes, right? 76 minus 56. And so I deposited while you guys were talking. So the way it works is you if you want to deposit to the subnet, you just check the box. If you just want SBTC, you just keep it empty. And as I said before, this could be done like in a different way and abstract the whole thing. And instead of depositing to Blaze, you can deposit to any D app or buy an NFT, etc.
So so that little drop down where it says how it works. Open that up for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
So it says your BTC deposit unlocks SBTC via Clarity's direct Bitcoin state reading. No intermediaries or multi-signature scheme needed. Trustless, fast, and secure. And there's actually a little demo video in there as well for people to watch to get some more info on it.
I can elaborate on this if you guys want. Otherwise, that's fine.
I just I figured it was good to read it while we have people here looking at it.
Yeah, for sure. So the way it works is there's a bunch of SBTC that's locked in the contract, equivalent to $6,000 currently. So when you deposit the Bitcoin right now, so 10,000 sats, equivalent to $9.49. So if I check the box, it's going to deposit to Blaze. If I don't, it's going to send me SBTC. So yeah, this case I wanted to send to SBTC. What it does is it encodes your Stocks receiver address. So this is the Stocks receiver address that corresponds to Rafiko.btc, which was who was my grandfather, but whatever. So the BNS address of this is SP1, J, etc. until JV 91. And then it actually is going to encode it in the op return of this PSBT that you're signing, where you're sending the 10,000 sats plus, the service fee, and you are paying the network fee that you decided to pay, like in terms of priority, right? And you can verify here in the code if you wanted to. You see, I copy pasted that op return, which is going to embed the Stacks receiver address, which is my address. And yeah, that's how it works under the hood. It encodes this information in the Bitcoin transaction over here. And then when this Bitcoin transaction, when this block anchors, Clarity is able to read that, okay, I need to send to Rafiko.btc. And also it knows that it needs to send to the subnet inside the Clarity code. And that's how it works, guys.
So just the function call for the contract is in the Bitcoin transaction.
Yes, exactly. So if I'm depositing Bitcoin now, that Bitcoin transaction, when it anchors, it's going to unlock, SBTC from this pool to me and nobody else other than me. That's why the service is just doing it on behalf of the user. And here earlier, 19 minutes ago, I did a transaction to make sure this was working. So I can see it somewhere where it says 40 minutes here, but it could be the same. Is it? So there's a problem with the Explorer, I believe, here. Oh, this is really strange. 40 minutes ago.
I've definitely seen transactions saying that they happened longer ago than they actually did, by the way.
Is there a problem with the Explorer? Normally there isn't. But,
yeah, recently I've seen that happen. I don't know. I think I saw it in a wallet transaction, but it was like something I had just did said it happened like 15 minutes ago. And I just did it. It couldn't have been 15 minutes. So I think it might be some kind of.
It should be this transaction, but I'm very surprised that this is not sending. Yeah, it should. Yeah. Huh.
It could be something not lining up with the Explorer.
There's a way to verify if you go to the subnet address, then you can essentially verify your. Yeah, this is 1, 2. Oh, 1 and 2. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so I don't know. 41 minutes ago. This is not in line. Yeah, this issue. I don't know. Okay, you can hear that the transaction that we just did was processed as well. And this is. Wait a second. Let me try and go to the contract instead. Okay, 2 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago. Okay, my bad. I was looking at the wrong place. I was looking at the principal address of the contract, not the user. So as you can see now, this is correct. It's sending the SBTC to the subnet right here in one go. And if we go to the transaction before that, that's also doing the same thing because I tested it. And now I'm verifying it with you. So yeah, so everything worked correctly. And this is essentially under the hood depositing into the subnet on behalf of the user, which is, as you know, like my grandfather's BTC, name or surname. His name was Raphael as well. So finally, I'm not leaving you on a bad taste. Quite the opposite, since it worked in like.
Hell yeah. Dude, you made that quick fix, man. Like you're a base builder, dude. Like only on DeOrganized are you gonna see like something break and then something get fixed in the same like span of time, like the same 30 minutes, dude. You are crushing it, man. I want to learn how to code like Rafa when I grow up.
Yeah. I wanted to demo from the Fact Fund website because it's live and I want people to be able to do it again if they wanted to. And so while you were presenting the news, I just quickly, added this, this UI and thing, and I forgot a simple flag. And essentially the UI, when you tick the box here, is sending the instruction to the service to essentially do the right thing.
So in simple terms, I go to the bridge here, I put some Bitcoin in, and if I check that box, it'll automatically actually go to my Blaze account attached to that wallet. It'll be in the Blaze, subnet.
And now you can play on the Blaze app. I know that Lendy will be interested because you can create limit orders that are sort of hidden. Because everything is off-chain, you can sign a signature that is not revealed to the market or on-chain, and the Blaze app can monitor the price really quickly and then execute your limit order whenever the conditions are right. So yeah, you can deposit Bitcoin in one transaction on Blaze or anywhere else, and everything compounds.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, that
Very,
privacy,
very cool.
that privacy aspect of it is very cool. Yeah, like limit orders and being able to like say you're speculating on price action to go to a certain level or stuff like that. Yeah, I can see where that's very handy for Landy.
Yeah,
And there's demand for it.
you know,
There's demand, as evidenced by the jump in Monero's price today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was in the news. You
yeah,
know,
you can do all sorts of things, guys. Like, I mean, you guys know, but perhaps the people who are listening uh, that are just jumping right now, but you can borrow against your Bitcoin on Zest. You can mint stablecoin against your Bitcoin on Arcadico. You know, there's AI agents that are being built by a top tier top tier team. You know, there's perp decks on stacks now, thanks to Villar. You know, Bitflow is doing an amazing job at DCAing and all sorts of like AMM stuff. You know, Alex, of course, is a very strong company.
I've said it.
Shout out
There's-
to X on Twitter.
Yeah, shout out. There's a ton of talent and value in this list of apps right here.
Yeah,
This little like it's really amazing. The fact that we've actually been able to go through the last few months of all of the things that have been developing, and shipping, and delivering, and all the new things that are iterating and in the works, and the price action has done what it's done, is really a gift. Like, I consider myself to be very, very fortunate. I wish I had a little bit more available cash, because
Right.
this has been a great time to
you can
accumulate
leverage
some cash.
on Zest, but leverage goes both sides, right? And then you can buy some room.
Yeah, my risk tolerance, I don't do a ton of that.
Nothing.
I do use Zest. I loan out my assets on Zest.
I want to
But I
give a
don't do
shout out
lot
to,
of,
if it's okay with you, like the founder of
anybody.
Seigel, who's being a mentor to me, and
Oh yeah, we love Leo. We love Leo. Yeah.
Leo is not only the founder of Seigel, and you can read lots of articles that Jack back in the day wrote over there. He's
Brilliant
also
articles.
behind StackSpulse. I think I mentioned it somewhere here. I don't know. Oh, right here.
Stack swap.
StackSpulse is like giving you the pulse of the market. With it's similar but different than Signal to 21. Signal 21 is more. I think they target more corporate like businesses and StackSpulse.
But it's basically on-chain data.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. That's Stacks Labs, isn't it?
Real-time on-chain stats for big. I don't know where did I put him, somewhere in here. I believe this is it. Yeah.
That's a clean looking list too.
Nice.
I like the little like the UI, how it's so clean, and like you're taking into account the user experience. These things matter, man. These things definitely matter.
The reason I'm mentioning Leo is because he was a mentor for the backend setup, which is his architecture and all sorts of advice along the way. Like in here, for example, I pushed the mempool estimate for the fees to the front end so that it's actually on the burden of the user's API, so that it limits, to hit like API limits, like rate limits, all sorts of things. Like he helped me. Like the site is extremely quick now. Like he helped like to
sent you, and huge. I don't want to undercut the shout out to Leo, but since you mentioned rate limits, and that actually came up a few times last week, where I think most recently Mr. Wolf was on, and he was talking about the Hero API rate limits, and that there's been an issue with that, but they're kind of they're working on it. And if you're having issues with running out of access, that you can DM them and they'll up your limit.
Totally. I should definitely also shout out to them. They're doing a great job. Like the Hero, they're powering all the chain hook behind this website, and yeah, they are the backbone of many other apps on stacks.
Right on. Yeah, man, really awesome stuff. So do you want to really quick kind of go over the pre-launch and all of that stuff? I don't want to.
If you guys want to,
JP?
I'd be glad to do so, but I didn't. Yeah, it's actually live. Perhaps you can do it. Peace, love. I don't know, but essentially, like, created a new product which has a pre-launch phase that accrues fee airdrops derived from the bonding curve to a bunch of like pre-launch buyers. But perhaps you can do a better job at explaining it, since now I'm actually curious how you would explain it.
Okay, so
putting you on the spot.
Let me actually get the page up so I can kind of follow along with
I can stop sharing.
Yeah, there it is. All right, let me bring it up here. So it's the same page you guys were just looking at, but so it's kind of a new way to launch a meme token. So before it still launches onto a bonding curve, but there is a pre-launch phase. There are 20 seats in pre-launch. I guess you would call them investors, and each of them has to put in 69,000 sats per seat. So it provides an upfront liquidity for the launch of the pool to some degree. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. You see, you're doing a much better job than I was.
And so users can buy up to 7 seats, but there needs to be at least 10 unique users to participate, and all 20 seats have to get purchased, correct? Right? Is that
correct?
So if the launch doesn't meet the goal, which is 20 seats and 10 unique users, the decks remain closed, and users can get a refund. They have to claim that refund. And so that ensures high quality meme projects that are backed by a real community before they get launched. So basically there has to be some support, both with a number of people and a certain amount of assets, to launch the token.
Yeah. So you can think of it like a pre-launch is a community signal. It needs to be strong enough, and if it doesn't meet that signal, the cool thing is you can get out of it, and you get a full refund instead of launching a bonding curve, and then there's all sorts of
and then you have no control over it. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if anyone likes it. You don't even know if it's the same one because somebody else launched a skull coin an hour after it minted out. That's the same. So it stops a lot of the pitfalls for a bonding curve launch. You have to get some support.
Yeah.
It actually probably makes it much better for the meme token that's going to be launching to have any chance of success, because they've done the legwork, they've done the groundwork. Whoever was actually launching the token has gotten some support before they launched the token.
Exactly.
You know what I like the most about this too is that like you get the tokens on like a vesting schedule that's baked in, right? Yep. Like so you graduate the curve. It's not automatically going to like dump all the way out and people have their tokens. Like it makes for a very sound launch. It builds that foundation of like you have everybody that's putting their skin in the game, and then you have that interest, and then those that have that get their tokens on a vesting schedule then earn fees. It's freaking awesome, dude.
So the bonding curve buyers, traders, when the market opens, is still the same. You can buy early and dump whenever you want. But
you can buy and dump, but there's already been investors that are holding some of the supply. So and they actually bought at a price that's actually higher than the early people on the bonding curve, right?
Yeah, and
that doesn't mean that they can't buy in the bonding curve too.
Exactly. So it's actually pretty decent. Like I looked at it, and if you are the first buyer after the pre-launch completes and you buy for 69,000 sats, you'll be paying 6% less than the pre-launch buyers in the like a seat in a pre-launch, 6%. But obviously you don't get all the fees generated by the bonding curve during the bonding curve life cycle. And
right. Which if it's a really successful token, it's going to be way more than 6%.
So it's not that bad. I mean, there is a premium depending on how you calculate. You can calculate in different ways. Always do your own research, of course. And my intention was, of course, to disincentivize snipers, because snipers will not likelihood like snipers want the least risk possible, so they don't want to pay a premium. They want to buy a clean price and then be able to dump whenever they want. So that is the logic behind this mechanism. So you do have a vesting schedule. It's not too long, right? It's a 4-week vesting schedule. It's not the end of the world. And if the curve bonds, right, you get 60% early vested tokens. So if you had to wait another 2 weeks or whatever, you no longer have to wait 2 weeks. You get your 60% vested on bonding event.
It's well thought out, dude. It's very well thought out.
And I like it, man. I really think it's a. We were saying the exact same thing at the exact same time. Go ahead.
It's an experiment, right? The goal is more to have that filtering mechanism before you launch the bonding curve. It has its pros and cons. It's an experiment, and the goal is to attract these communities, like perhaps the runes communities, right? Because I'm going to use some of that premium to etch a rune, and you'll be able to bridge back to Bitcoin whenever you want.
I thought it was interesting that you brought up like
So every one of the tokens that launches are also going to have a corresponding rune token.
Yeah, in the FAQ it says everyone that bonds, but it's actually everyone that completes the pre-launch, because I'm using that premium to etch the rune, and then you can bridge it via the X-Link bridge. So every one of the token that opens up on the DEX.
You mean the protocol bridge?
Right.
Protocol now. Like I love the name. It's fun. It's like protocol, dude. Bro.
Yeah, I think they did a good choice there. I agree. And the tech is
guys. I love this stuff. I have to jump off. I gotta get some for the. I'm supposed to have a property listed days ago, and I haven't gotten into that once yet. I gotta finish.
Thank you for your time,
because I keep talking.
Appreciate it.
No, I love you guys. This is really awesome stuff. I love hanging out. I love getting the chance to do this. I'm really glad I caught this tonight. But I gotta bounce. I'll catch you guys later.
Later.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, Rafa.
It's just us, I guess.
I think it's just me and you now, man. I think that you're really building outside of the box and thinking in a way that really brings value to this community. I wanna leave it off with you. Like, is there any like unsaid things, any other alpha that you want to discuss, or like just a frequency that you want to put out there to the ethos as a builder in this space?
I would invite people who have etched 100% of a rune token that they don't have a smart mechanism to build a community around it, to hit me up. Actually, they can, in 2 seconds, they can launch the L2 layer of it, like literally like in 2 seconds, it's live. And experiment around it. I think that's the goal, like to help communities have a launchpad mechanism that is sustainable. And it makes sense, actually. If you have like pre-launch sheet owners, it actually makes sense that they get a cut of the fees in the bonding curve. And this is what they will get every 2 weeks. They'll get an airdrop.
Yeah, so you're kind of delegating that distribution to other players in the game, that have some skin in the game. And I love that, dude.
100%.
It's so fucking cool, man. It blows my mind because it solves a really awesome problem. And like, I can think of 3 or 4 communities off the top of my head that have 100% of a rune etched right now. So definitely get with Rafa. Follow him on X.
Yeah. So if you're interested, like, you don't even need me. It's permissionless. Like, go to fact.fund-deposit or just click on create, then create the L2 token, and that will instantly, like, you don't deploy your tokens. Like, the UX is so cool. Like, you'll see there's a progression bar, and it's in 2 seconds you've got everything deployed on your behalf, and now you can buy your seats. You need 10 plus users to buy these 20 seats, and seamlessly it will transition into the bonding curve. So yeah, just go ahead, fact.fund, and create your meme.
So it's so sick, dude. I encourage anybody to go check out factory.fun and kind of experiment. This is like that phase that where you can be the one of the first, right? Like, be a trailblazer in this space, testing out new technology with what you've created. So go out there, go definitely follow Factory Fun on X as well. That's another thing. Get yourself in the game, test out novel technologies with us, and like, be a trailblazer. This is what it's about in this space. You have a chance to be early, go be early. So
just wanted to mention that if they have the etch already fully etched, then they can hit me up and I can do the linking between the 2 assets. But if not, once it pre-launch, once the pre-launch completes, then the rune equivalent will be etched on their behalf.
Sick, dude. So like, if they need help, they have 100% of it minted already, and they want to launch on FactFund, then get in touch with you. But if you have your idea and you're ready to launch a community and spearhead like a movement, just go right over to FactFund and get shit popping, right? Like, start testing, and you're an open guy. You're open to helping others, and always got your hands in so much in this space, man. So I know you're open to helping anybody that has any questions. So definitely follow around.
Yeah, I really appreciate you, Giga, because you've been a huge supporter, and your voice is very much valued. Just want to add that this is serious. Like, the target is pre-configured for you to be like 0.21 Bitcoin, and with 1 billion in supply. So it's really targeting community builders who want to build a community meme.
Yeah, it's like it's the go-to tool for that, and it makes everybody that wants to get involved, very, very, very sound. It's such a smart way to do it. I can't say that enough because I haven't seen anybody tackle it in this way. With free airdrops, whenever you got your skin in the game, forget about it, man. Like, I'm about this life, and I'm gonna experiment with it whenever somebody launches something on there, dude. I want to be in there like swimwear. So I hope that you're screaming it from the rooftops, like, yo, this is the one. Like, let's go. I got a little SBTC that I want to grab one of those seats and be one of those seats to the first one that's launched. So let me know whenever something's going down. And
you have a Discord and a Telegram notification for every new Bitcoin meme. I call them Bitcoin because it's Bitcoin denominated. Mm-hmm. And with all the SBTC that is going to flow into stacks, I think it's a good moment. Not financial advice. And yes, it actually only makes sense if you participate in funding the pre-launch. It only makes sense that you get a cut from the fees.
Facts. Like, you're putting you're early, so that's what you're earning. You're earning these free drops of like airdrops. So thank you for doing your demo tonight, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Like, anytime that you have like some alpha, like a new update, anything that you're pushing, like come on here, man. Let's talk about it. Like I want to be able to talk about what you got going on. That's what the night show is for.
I appreciate you, Giga. Like coming from you, like I've seen you grow and relentlessly pushing your, collection and showing up. It's an invitation that I'll gladly accept, and I'm just getting started here. We're building, sort of
building
like past the past finance era. So it's going to be contracts over contracts and over contracts. I'm going to buy contracts, and I'm just getting.
This is gonna be epic. I can see the direction. I can see the mission, and you're one of those guys that carries the ethos on your back, dude. So thank you, Rafa. Any last info? Any last shameless shows or like energy that you want to put out there? I'll let you have it, and then we'll close up, man.
I'll say, if you're a builder or you feel yourself as a builder, follow that voice. Like, don't listen to the noise. Look at Giga. He's been showing up. He's a role model, and he's progressing. It's the same for everyone. Like, start today. Don't delay.
Start today. Don't delay is what I'll leave it on, man. Thank you, Rafa. I look forward to the next episode, sir. Yeah, man. I'll see you again. And this has been another very based episode where you get the alpha on DeOrganized Nightly. You get to see based builders in the ecosystem like Rafa come and demo what they've got going on. And I really hope that you go check out Factory.fun, man. He's really building some interesting stuff that is going to change the game for community builders. And if you're interested, dude, just reach out to him, man. He's very open and very honest, and open to helping anybody in this ecosystem. So I'm really proud to be able to take part in seeing the trailblazing that's going on and getting the alpha out there with DeOrganized Nightly. This has been another based episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room and just push out high frequency vibes, talk about the important news going on in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and mostly really kick out high frequency vibes and keep you guys in the know. You guys stay blessed. This has been a Based Monday, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. ET. Tune on in. Let's get the alpha. Keep building the change and keep chipping away. Peace.